Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Key, and I am here with my boy shootingstarsheriff, and we have a podcast for you all today. So, the way the podcast is going to work is we're going to have about 2 to 3 topics that we're going to talk about. Today's topics are going to be the big fiasco with Sony and Marvel over Spider-Man, and what's going on with that, and our thoughts on it, as well as this is kind of old news, like old news, but I just recently watched the movie myself, like 2 days ago, and it's going to be My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. We're going to talk about that, and also we are going to talk about this new app, or at least new to me. I'm not sure if it's been around for a long time, but this new app that I just found, and it is the shonenjump app, and I don't know, it just brings back a lot of good memories for me and stuff like that. So yeah, getting into this, you want to say anything, Sheriff?
No, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right, cool. First things first, let's get into this whole fiasco with Sony and Marvel. So from what I've been doing my research on this, right? Like, I've been wanting to know more about this and what's going on, because there's a lot of fanboys on the internet and stuff like that kind of throwing stones at the other company and stuff like that, kind of just like blaming everybody's blaming somebody. Everybody wants somebody to blame, but nobody really knows exactly what's going on. So like, I've been kind of doing my research and stuff like that, and basically from what my understanding is, Sony and Disney Marvel had an agreement that they were going to do like 4 to 5 movies or something like that, and with like crossovers and all of that, and that was in the contract. And basically Sony, because they own Spider-Man, they've owned Spider-Man for like the past couple years. Actually, Disney sold not Disney, but Marvel sold Spider-Man rights to Sony for like $7 million or something like that way back in the day. They even offered to sell the entire Marvel franchise to Sony for like $22 million, but Sony was like, "Nah, we just want Spider-Man. That's all we want." But anyway, so Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and Sony, they front the cost of both Far Away From Home and Homecoming. Like 100% Sony fronted the cost, and then Sony got 100% profits back from the film. And what Disney and Marvel got was 5% of first dollar grossing or whatever. So basically, that's kind of like on the first like opening day of the movie or whatever they make on opening day. That's basically what Disney and Marvel pocket. And seeing, I guess, the popularity and like of Spider-Man and stuff like that with the last movies and stuff, Disney was like, "Yo, Sony over there making bank. Like, Sony made $1 billion, like $1.1 billion off of Spider-Man. Like, we want to renegotiate our contract because they're making bank over there." You know what I'm saying? So basically, halfway through the contract, Disney Marvel went to Sony and said, "Hey, look, I know we got this deal going on, but how about this? How about we take 50-50? You know what I'm saying? Like, we front 50% of the cost, and you front 50% of the cost, and we both make 50% of the profits from any future movies that we got going on." And Sony's like, "No, like, I already got you locked in for 2 more movies. Why would I do that? That's taking money out of my own pocket. I don't know. We're not doing that." And then Disney got mad and said, "Okay, cool. Well, we're going to take Spider-Man out of the Marvel universe. Like, it is what it is." You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's the whole situation. And I think Sony countered. Like, so when I was doing research, they were saying Sony didn't counter, and then more things came up where it said Sony countered, and then Disney denied it or like refused the counter offer. And I think Sony was saying like, "Okay, cool. Instead of 5%, we'll go ahead and give you 10%," which 5%, 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but like when it comes to these big movies and stuff like that, that's like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I guess
5%. 5% of $1 billion is a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but like Disney and Marvel is like, "No, we don't want to do that." So that's the whole situation, and I think and don't quote me on this. This is new information that I just read on the internet. I'm not sure how viable this part is, but apparently Sony is like, okay, cool. If you want Spider-Man, if you want to renegotiate your contract and just like drop out of what we got going on right now, we'll give you Spider-Man, but for $10 billion. And then and Disney and Marvel are like, nah, we're not doing that. we're not finna pay $10 billion for Spider-Man. But like, in my opinion, right, I think, because like everybody's like throwing stones at Sony and saying, hey, you know, boycott Sony. I'm never going to see another Sony movie if you take him away from the Marvel universe, or I'm going to sell my PS4, which PS4, like PlayStation, has absolutely nothing to do with Sony, the movie side of it. Like, those are two different entities of the same company. But also, like, it seems like Disney, Marvel is actually kicking Spider-Man out of the DC universe if Sony doesn't like bend to their will. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to control everything, the whole situation, and if they can't get what they want, they're like, all right, cool, we're just gonna take him out of the universe. Like, you know, whatever. Also, more information that I got, they're actually locked in for one more movie, so like per the contract, so they have to make one more movie. So we're going to get at least one more Spider-Man movie that's within that Marvel Cinematic Universe, and after that, they're probably going to like fight more. But so we're still safe from what it seems like for one more movie. But again, like I said, all of the research that I did, that's the information that I have. And what are your thoughts on that? Like, have you researched anything more? Have you learned anything else? Like, what do you know more about this?
I mean, the only other thing that's been super recent as of today, I mean, I don't want to break the fourth wall and give the actual date, but give today's actual date that this is being recorded. But just to give you guys kind of like a time frame, D23 is going on right now. And Tom Holland was at D23, not for Spider-Man, for an animated movie that he's working on, not the Will Smith one. That one's coming out soon, or it is out, but it's another movie entirely. And he spoke up and he said, I know it's been like a crazy week or whatever, but you know, you guys have been the best. And all that jazz. So that's, I mean, as far as like, because this whole week, like, Tom Holland was super quiet. Like, 2 days, like, I think 2 days after the news broke out, he was like hiking with Robert Downey Jr. on his Instagram. Like, he posted some pictures on Instagram with him hanging out with RDJ, which was cool. But I mean, other than that, that's probably the last thing I've heard that's super recent. That's like the most recent. And D23 D23 was just like, it's happening like now or past or something like that. It's the Disney Expo. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's
the only thing. What'd you say?
No, I was gonna say, so that's pretty much is the last I've heard about the situation.
Okay. The only thing I've seen from D23 is the what is it? The Star Wars trailer. Oh. That's the only thing I've seen from D23. And I guess we're not really gonna talk. I mean, I guess we can get into that in a second if you want to. But what is it? Mm-hmm. Also, the whole Tom Holland and Zendaya unfollowing Sony, which, I mean, like, I want to like bring up the conversation. Like, can you be mad at Sony though? Like, who really can you be mad at? Because like, if give me 1 second. What is it? Somebody put it perfectly, in my opinion. I watched a video of this on YouTube, and I completely forgot the guy's channel and name. Like, if I can't find it, I'll put a link in the description to his video, because like, he sums it up a whole lot better than I ever could. But he's like, think of it this way: if you were at your job working your job, right, and you were doing 100% of the work, and you're getting your paycheck just like everybody does when they go to work, right? Imagine if somebody came in and said, hey, I know you're doing your job and you're making 100% of your paycheck, but how about this? I bring somebody else in, they do half of your work, and I'll split the paycheck between you two. Like, you wouldn't do that, and that's basically the exact same situation that's going on with Sony and Disney. Disney's like, hey, we'll just give you half of the money to front the cost of the actual movie, and then we'll take half of that money. And Sony's like, no, we've been doing fine, fronting 100% of the cost and getting 100% of the profits back. That's the situation. That's the agreement that you signed to, like 2 or 3 years ago. So like, why are you trying to come back and change it now that you see that Spider-Man is doing a whole lot better than any of us actually would have ever imagined? Because I think Sony was like, they kind of like gave up on Spider-Man a little bit after the Amazing Spider-Man movies because they didn't do so well, or like they weren't very like confident in his ability to, I guess, gain, like people actually like Spider-Man now, Well, I mean, people always like Spider-Man, but like, I guess he's a lot more popular than he was back then. But I mean, like I said, like, can you really be mad at Sony though? Like, is Sony really the one to be angry at? Like, I know, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
So, yeah, I think I watched that same I watched that same video you did about that whole like job analogy. That's comicstorian, I believe. Comicstorian.
Okay.
No, really good YouTube channel. Especially if you like comic books and you like to keep up with what's going on in certain story arcs. Great question.
Thank you for that. That makes it easier for me to find them.
Comicstorian. Great channel. Shout out to that guy. He really did a good analysis breaking down the whole thing. Here's the thing with pointing the finger at who, because it's just human nature to want to just blame somebody or anybody when things go wrong, and people have always been like that. When stuff goes wrong, the first thing we want to do is figure out who is to blame, because we don't always think we're at fault at the moment, depending on the situation or what it is. Yeah. So with the whole situation, I really don't blame. It's funny because we're talking about two multi-billion-dollar companies. Both of these companies have mad cash. Like, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. It's one of those things where it's like, as a fan, like as the news was rolling out, it really made it seem like Sony was just like, oh, you want our money, we're just gonna take him back. And so the initial way it rolled out from, it made it really seem like Sony was just pulling out just because of, oh, we don't want them to have our money. So, and that's how people were scrutinizing it. And people weren't really trying to look at the whole, like, the actual whole picture. People were really just looking at, oh, Disney just wants more money, which is, I mean, they're both companies. At the end of the day, I'm gonna just say this first and foremost, which I know this is probably gonna hurt somebody's feelings, but I don't care. I really don't care right now.
I know where you're going with this. And like, go ahead and say it.
They are $2 billion companies. They don't care about you. They don't care about that MCU story. They don't care about the story. They don't care about Spider-Man at the end of it. They care about making money. Their businesses. They care. That's always going to be number one. They're going to make money. They could give two shits about Spider-Man being in the MCU for the next 10 years or the next 5 movies or whatever. If they can't, if Disney wants some more money and they like no, and they're not agreeing, then it's whatever. It's like, okay, cool. Well, we'll just drop the whole story. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I'm sorry, fanboy. I mean, yeah, I'm a Spider-Man fan. Is like, just like everybody else. I love Spider-Man. It's my favorite comic book hero of all time. But at the end of the day, it's like, they're $2 billion companies. This isn't the Sonic situation where Sonic just didn't look right and the internet bitched and complained, and then we were able, this is something that's no amount of talking or being upset about it and voicing your opinions about it is going to change their mind. I mean, we express them, if you want to know my opinion, I blame both of them. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna try not to swear so much.
Say it how you want to say it, man. Don't censor yourself. Like, we're not trying to get monetized on here. We're just, we're doing this because we enjoy doing it, and we like talking about the things we like talking about. So like, if you gotta say something a certain way, man, look, don't censor yourself, man. Just say it how you want to say it.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna just kind of say it for better lack of a term, but the people that it really fucks over are the fans, because two multi-billion-dollar companies want to make an extra $1 billion. This is the reason why we can't have nice things. This is the reason why we get fucked over and we can't get Spider-Man in the MCU and we can't finish this. And like I said, we still got him on for one more. Like, I think, reports said 1 or 2 more movies or something, somewhere around there. I think it's 1 more movie. But it was, especially after the way far. You know what the thing was if the post credit scene for Far From Home wasn't a thing, I feel like people wouldn't be as upset. But because they did that end credit scene, which I'm not going to spoil Far From Home because it's still really fresh as far as a movie. I know it's like, what, a month or 2 old now? Yeah. But I'm going to avoid all spoilers for the movie. But that ending, if it
better than me.
But because of that ending, that's why people are so upset, because they were really trying to build Spider-Man up as one of the next head characters going into the next phase. So at the end of the day, don't boycott your PS4. I've heard people talking about they're going to return Spider-Man for PS4, which is developed by a completely different company. Let Ubisoft keep them.
Leave them alone, man. Leave Ubisoft alone.
Leave Ubi alone. Ubi did a good job on that game. Let's not get into that one, because to be completely honest, Spider-Man PS4 is probably still the best Spider-Man experience out, even including the movies. Don't at me on.
So good, bro.
Don't at me on that. So if you want to talk about. You want a good movie, go play Spider-Man PS4. That's a great movie.
Oh my god. Look, I second that, man. Like, I still got to finish the last DLC, but that that game is so good, man.
Yes. So if you want to be, if you really want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the both of them. Be mad at the both of them, because think about it. And here's the other thing too, just to kind of, because Disney's talking about, we want more money off the movie end, where they make 100% of the profits. Sony makes nothing off of the merchandising for Spider-Man. So that's any toys, any kind of merchandise that has to deal with Spider-Man. Disney makes 100% of the profits on that. Sony doesn't make a dime off of any of the merchandising. So they really make all their money off of the movies.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like Disney's trying to take a big chunk of money out of Sony's pocket, though. Like, because if Sony doesn't make any money off of their merchandise, because Disney, makes all that stuff or whatever, and now Disney's like, hey, give us half of your money from the movie. Disney's like, yo, like, where does it end? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, but I see what you're saying. Be mad at the both of them, but I still can't bring myself to be mad at Sony, because from, I guess, a business standpoint and just me looking at it the way that I see it, it seems like Disney just wants more money from Sony, and Sony's like, no, we don't want to give you more money.
Yeah,
which, I guess you can be mad at Sony for doing that. I guess if you're a fan of the whole series and stuff like that, and you're a fan of Spider-Man, you kind of want Sony to bend to Disney's will and say, hey, just do it for the fans, do it for us. which companies don't care about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if you're thinking about it from a business point of view, Sony is already making good money, and any like deviation from that or like from that deal that they got going on currently just takes out of Sony's pocket, which no company wants to do. So it makes sense for Sony to like kind of, I guess, stand their ground, unless Disney's trying to give up half of that merchandise, which at the I don't know. I think I'm not sure about the numbers and stuff like that. Even if that would make sense for Sony, for like if Disney say, okay, cool, we'll give you half of the merchandise sales, and you give us half of the movie sales. Does that make up for the difference? Probably not. So I mean, again, I'm not sure. Like I can't bring myself to blame Sony in this because Disney's the one who signed the agreement in the first place and then came back and tried to change everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Put it like this. I'm gonna put it very simple. Basically, they made a deal. It's like, you know how like you get something for like a certain price and then you go somewhere else and then you're like, oh wait, it's over there at a deal. The first thing you're gonna do is return it so you can go back to the other place and get it at a cheaper deal, or you get something from somebody and they try and renege you on it. Yeah. You know, like that's basically what Disney basically tried to renege Sony, and Sony was like, "Nah, fam." But I mean, shout out to Sony though to really, I mean, just to kind of to even just stand their ground against Disney, because Sony's plan, I mean, I'm getting it backwards now. Shout out to Disney's Sony for, yeah, because Disney's plan was to ingrain Spider-Man so heavily into the MCU. So by the time that contract was up, they were like, Disney was going to be like, you're going to have to sign this contract because people want this.
Yeah.
Because we've made this character so important now that you have no other choice but to sign the contract. Yeah.
And like looking at it from a business point though, that's really smart on Disney's part too, because like they're putting themselves in a stronger. They were trying to put themselves in a stronger position to take Spider-Man away from Sony, which is like kind of grimy and greasy and stuff like that.
But
like,
hey, it's business.
But like when you think about it, but like from a business point, they were building Spider-Man up because like Spider-Man is the only IP outside of like two other small ones that nobody care about that so like that Disney doesn't have from Marvel. Like they've bought Fox, so they got X-Men. They have basically every other MCU superhero but Spider-Man. So to get him from Sony, they were building him up that way, like as a business move. But it made the fans happy because they make for good movies, you know. But like they were like, okay, cool. Once Spider-Man becomes basically our new Tony Stark or Iron Man, you got to give us Spider-Man now, like. You know, you have no choice but to do this. Like, they were going to, like, bend Sony's arm that way, you know? But, you know, it is what it is, though, you know?
No, and, like, at the same time, too, there's also people that spoke up about it, too. There's been numerous actors that have spoken up and tweeted out about the whole situation that's gone on. I think the one that I think, by far, if you put this into perspective, it makes a lot of sense. And it's the only reason why I'm still okay with Spider-Man still being with Sony, which I know a lot of people are like, what? Why are you saying that? Is the statement that Stan Lee's daughter had, that she came out and said that, yo, it's fine for them to stand their ground against Disney. Disney owns everything. Like, how much stuff have they acquired in the last, like, 5 years, let alone last 10 years? Like, they own everything, man, and they're trying to strong-arm they're buying out everybody and strong-arming everybody so they can own everything, so that way you never get any other different kind of creative outlooks on something. If Disney owned everything, then there would be no reason to have, like, then it's always going to be their spin on everything. And then, at least with Sony still owning Spider-Man, especially after we've had Into the Spider-Verse, which was amazing. Which I know that was by Sony Animation, but they did the damn thing with that movie.
That's probably like, and I know this is gonna make a lot of people mad, and I don't even care, but that's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie. Into the Spider-Verse.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, I feel like that. I mean, a lot of people still say it's debatable between Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2, but if you're talking about, I feel like something that will last for years to come and stand the test of time.
Yeah.
As much as us 90s kids that grew up with the Sam Raimi films, after our generation is done and over, I'm sorry, bro. Who else is watching the Sam Raimi films unless you're a super diehard Spider-Man fan and you just want to consume every little bit of Spider-Man media? I mean, outside of that, Spider-Verse, I feel like will hold this because it's animated. So it's just going to stand the test of time a lot longer than Spider-Man 2. As much as I love Spider-Man 2, I love that scene where he fights Doc Ock on the train. Spider-Man, saving everybody. Like, it's iconic. It's I'm not saying that movie, but over time, that movie it won't be as, it won't hold up as well, I feel like, over time as Spider-Verse will. Where Spider-Verse tells a story for pretty much everybody. It's a coming of age story with Spider-Verse. With Spider-Man 2 is it's just like another Spidey. It's just like another day in the life of the character. So, I mean, that's my honest opinion. Y'all can at me. I don't care. I'm not going to pay attention to it. But Spider-Verse is a very strong movie. So I don't blame you at all for saying that it's probably the best Spider-Man movie, because it probably is.
Hey, you heard it first here on the channel. Straight out of the boy's mouth, Shooting Star Sheriff, Spider-Verse. It's most likely the best Spider-Man movie, and the Tom Holland movies are awesome. I'm not even gonna lie, like those are pretty good, but I don't know, Spider-Verse was dripping with sauce like the entire movie though.
Oh yeah, from beginning to end, like it the movie, even the opening credits are like, oh, you were it. Let me not.
And then not even let me get on the soundtrack though.
Let's not even get low, because
I'm still jamming the soundtrack. Like, that's like one of the top albums I listen to like right now.
Oh no, I still have the album. I still have the album on Google Play Music. I still play it.
Oh man, but yeah. Anyway, let's not dwell too long on this topic, because we've probably been going at it for like we can go at it for like hours and hours on this topic. But those are our opinions. Like, what do you all think about the situation? How do you feel about it? Do you blame Sony? Do you blame Disney? Or do you blame both of them? Or do you just like not care? You want it to get resolved and have more amazing Spider-Man movies in the future within the MCU? Or does it even really matter to you that Spider-Man is in the MCU? One thing I just read online while we were doing this, actually, and again, I didn't really read the article. I just kind of saw the headline online. Apparently, since if Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU, they're going to put Spider-Man and Venom together. Now, I know everybody has their opinions on the Venom movie. They don't really like it, but I mean, is that something that you all would be willing to, well, not willing, but want to see Spider-Man and Venom in the same movie? Or is Spider-Man and Deadpool in the same movie more exciting for you all? Down below, let us know. I mean, before we move on, what do you think? Spider-Man and Deadpool or Spider-Man and Venom?
Well, I mean, it'll probably be more likely Spider-Man, Venom, just because they're both by Sony.
No, I mean, like, what do you
want to see more?
What would you want to see more?
Jeez, that's tough. Because, I mean, Spider-Man 3 did not do a Spider-Man Venom movie justice at all. Oh, God. I kind of want them to leave, to be honestly, because they're building Venom up for its own thing. I personally want them to do the Venomverse story arc with Null, the god of the symbiotes or something like that. I kind of want them to go that route with the Venom movies. Don't know if they're gonna go complete Venomverse with the Venom movies, but I would like to see that over Spider-Man having a Spider-Man team up with Venom. Like, I don't want to see that, not yet, not now. I'm not saying not ever, but I don't want to see it right now. I want Venom to do its own thing, let it build up its own universe and get its own like thing, and then when we can find the opportunity, then we'll insert Spider-Man in there. I mean, now if I just wanted to see just something just for the hell of it, yeah, Spider-Man, Deadpool would be at the top of my list, because those characters, they have so many crossover stuff, especially in the comics too, and they're just two great characters because they're both funny, but like it's great to have Deadpool's kind of like deadpan like nature with like Spider-Man's kind of quirky nerdy nature. Not to mention Deadpool always comments that, you know, he stole his suit. So it's because their suits are very similar. So I would love to see. I think that would be for a more like comedic good time. Yeah, Spider-Man Deadpool would definitely be the way to go. That's what I would want to see first. I wouldn't want to see Spider-Man Venom right now.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on, and these next two topics aren't gonna like be as long as this one here was, because there's so much to talk about this one. There's so much to talk about the next two topics too, but we're gonna try not to make them too long. Actually, I don't even know how long we've been talking so far. I think it's been like 20-30 minutes.
Probably. I mean, maybe. I mean, we're having fun though.
Yeah, you know.
Around 30 minutes.
It is what it is though. But the next one I want to talk about, a really quick, just like discussion, I guess, the Shonen Jump app. Now, the Shonen Jump app for me, like, and it's only $1.99 a month to subscribe to it, so it's not that expensive. And what it looks like, you get basically all of the Shonen Jump manga. You know, which for me, like when I was in middle school, man, elementary, I used to go to like Walmart every time, like with my mom or whatever, and buy one of those $5 thick Shonen Jump books. Like that's my childhood, man. Like that's my first introduction to manga, and to have it in this app form that I can take around with me everywhere, like on my phone or on my tablet. I don't know, it just brings back memories, man. Like I remember, you know, just going through these little Shonen Jump books and drawing the characters or tracing over the characters or whatever, you know, or like finding new manga that I've never read before, because they, like, the Shonen Jump books, if you don't know, like, they were, like I said, like about $5. They were stupid thick, and they had like a chapter or like a chapter or segment from different manga throughout the book. So basically you'd have like 8 to 10 different manga within that book itself, and just introducing you to new manga and stuff like that, which is pretty, like, you know, I don't know, like for me it was pretty cool, you know. Like I used to have my friends come over and stuff like that. We'd read them and all of that, and again like we'd draw the characters from the books and all of that, man. It was a good time, man. It brings back good memories, you know. Like for yourself, do you have any memories with the Shonen Jump books and stuff like that? Like, do you have like a similar experience?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I do actually. My mom used to, what my mom used to do is, she used to, because, you know, I was a kid back then, so I couldn't really, you know, I wasn't buying stuff like that. I wasn't buying anything at all, really. But when I was a kid, I was a huge, I still play today, so let me not act like I do. Let me not try and sugarcoat it like I don't anymore. But I still play, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! So what was really cool about Shonen Jump was Shonen Jump always had, like, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a manga that was in Shonen Jump too. And They used to always come with the exclusive cards that you could only get through Shonen Jump, and they still, and I think they still do it today, where every now and again they'll do a promo card. They just send it to you in the mail now, because now they're no longer a thing. Because I had Shonen. It's funny because I had Shonen Jump, for a year. I did that thing where you had to sign up for a year. It was only like, it was $25, but you got an issue every month, and you got a discount on everything in the Shonen Jump store, or the Shonen Jump store. If you want to like buy extra manga or stuff like that, you had a discount because you paid for like that year membership, which $25 for the whole year was like, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So, and that's for like their service now. Like when the new issue comes out, you can download it to your phone, and you can read through Shonen Jump on your phone now.
Yeah.
But when I was a little kid, I used to love getting the Shonen Jumps because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And me and my brother, we used to play for a little while. And we used to love it because we used to get the cards out of, they would come with the cards, and the cards would, and then they would show you like little guides on like, oh, this is how you can use this card or whatever. And I used to like it for that because not only you got the manga, but it was always like, for me, getting the Yu-Gi-Oh card at the like in the back of the book was almost like, it was like the kids meal in the Happy. It was like the toy in the Happy Meal. You know what I mean? It was like that little bit of icing on top.
Yeah,
that's how it was for me. But I used to love. But that's how I read everything, man. That's how I read Dragon Ball. That's how Bleach. I mean, I remember when Bleach was being printed in there. That's how a lot of people got put on, and they were so thick. So like, you could read a Shonen Jump, and when you're like a little kid, man, you could read a Shonen Jump forever. I would reread my Shonen Jumps. I loved them so much, and I was collecting. I had like a little collection of some for a little while, because they were only $5. They were only like $5 or $10 back then, and you got like this huge thick book of chapters of all these different manga. So it was really cool. Like I remember having like my favorite shows and like my not so favorite series, but it was great, man. It was a great way to get put on to manga, because it would just be sitting in the magazine stands with all the other magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Shonen Jump. But I mean, the way it is now is dope too.
Yeah, going through the app right now, right? Like I have the little $1.99 subscription. I literally just like signed up for it just so I can like go through the app and see what it is. And like you get a 7-day free trial and everything like that. So if it's not everything you want it to be, if it doesn't bring back these wonderful memories for you like it does me and my boy, and this is not an ad, by the way, they're not paying me. I wish they were, but they're not. But it's not
Sorry.
If it doesn't bring back these wonderful memories, like it does for me and my boy here, you can definitely, unsubscribe within that first 7 days and not get charged the $2, But even if you do, it's only $2. But so when you get the subscription, you get like 10,000 plus manga chapters. They say you unlock basically, 100 chapters a day or something like that. You got about 15 hours, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, so you get like 15 hours. Oh, no, they're telling me I got 15 hours left for the limit reset. So I guess you can read 100 chapters a day or something like that, which is crazy. Like, I don't know anybody who would read 100 chapters of manga a day. I mean, maybe some people out there. I don't know. Maybe some people.
Man,
but
there's
like,
some people that devour it, bro. There's some people that'll blow through chapters in like 20 minutes. I'd be like, Jesus.
Yeah. But so there are a lot of like new Shonen Jump manga and stuff like that. Obviously, like My Hero Academia, even what's the new one? Demon.
Oh, Demon Slayer.
Okay, we're back. So we had to take a quick little break. You all probably won't even notice the break because I'll probably just cut right to this part. But my maintenance man was here fixing the dishwasher. Anyway, that's all taken care of. Getting back into the podcast. So basically with this Shonen Jump app, there are a lot of like new and old manga, like from Demon Slayer to Boruto to My Hero Academia. But for some of the volumes, and I'm not sure why this is, maybe they're like special volumes or whatever, but you have to pay for them individually and you'll buy them within the app, even if you have the $2 subscription. So like My Hero Academia Smash, which only has one volume right now. It's $6.99, and then you can preview it and stuff like that if you wanted to see if you actually want to purchase it.
Yeah.
But the other animes and stuff like that, actually, you can go into browse and stuff like that, and there's like Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump, Dr. Stone, all of that stuff like that. They'll be free for you to download and stuff like that, and you can actually read them when you're not in the Wi-Fi area, you don't have Wi-Fi or LTE and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I wish they would separate it by like premium and the free stuff. Well, not free because you're paying your $2 a month, but like I wish there was a way to actually separate it so you know what before you click on it, like what you have to pay for and what you don't. But it's all like in the same little library and stuff like that. And I'm about to click onto one of these just to see how it is. And it's pretty cool. Like if you ever use like Manga Reader or something like that to read manga, it's the exact same way, except you are, I guess, supporting the manga artist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Manga Reader and stuff like that actually pays the people for their stuff. I think those are just like free, like they're free, and I think I'm not completely sure. Like you might know more about that than me, but like I'm pretty sure, or I would think that Shonen Jump, since it's like a big business and stuff like that, that they actually pay the manga artists and stuff like that, and the people who create the manga for us, like what is it rather than like us reading like Anime Reader or Manga Reader or something like that, where I would assume they don't do any of that. Do you know anything more about that?
As far as like the logistics of how that gets broken up, no, I don't actually.
Yeah. Maybe Manga Reader doesn't pay the manga the people either, but I feel like this is like a more legit, like just like Crunchyroll, right? Like you're supporting the anime studios and stuff like that when you watch Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Although the animation industry is horrible. I don't know if you want to go into that, but like actual animators, man, they get treated like ass. Like,
oh no, it's the same. It's the same with a mangaka. Mangaka in Japan, they work very, very hard, and that they have to meet these, especially for like weekly series. Like as soon as they get one chapter like pushed out, they're already working on they're already trying to work on the next like 3-4 like the next. They're already working on the next chapter before you even see the previous chapter in the Shonen Jump. So they're constantly meeting deadlines and stuff, and they go through editors, and then the editors go through like it's a crazy process, and it's hard. I would not want to be a mangaka. And what's the craziest thing too? Like I don't know how well the currency I don't know how much like currency as far as the yen versus the American dollar translates over.
So, 1 yen is about $1 is about like 95 yen to like $1, like to 100 yen. So basically 100 yen is $1, just to break it up in like the easiest term or whatever. So I know animators, they get paid $2 or 200 yen per drawing. So like they're living way underneath the minimum wage, and like it's rough on them, man. Like real rough,
Yeah, they don't even get paid that well. Like you would think, like especially like the people that have like these huge successful series like My Hero and Naruto that run for so long, dude. They really do their work because they love their work. Like they're not. Like when you have a passion and you're not even really like getting paid that well, like you're doing it because you love it. You know what I mean? And not many people would do, like, put it like this. Not many people, and this especially in this day and age, a lot of people wouldn't do what they love and be making at least like comfortably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean,
You gotta at least be able to live comfortably.
and they don't even do that, man. Like I know here in America and stuff like that, and we're like kind of detracting from the subject, but I guess it kind of goes hand in hand. But like in America, we have, you know, these like scandals with like EA and all of that stuff like that, where how like they're pushing their employees, and some people are like, you know, not sleeping for days, sleeping on floors and stuff like that, and like there's like, it's like a big issue in like the industry and stuff like that, and like that's going on at these studios for these games and stuff like that. But this actually goes on like every day for animators and, like you said, mangaka. So like that's like their everyday reality. You know how like somebody working at EA could like just, okay, I don't like it here. You know, they treat me like crap. I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna go work at, you know, Ubisoft or something like that. Which it's not that simple, but like just to kind of like put it in perspective, animators that treat me like shit, I enjoy my work, I'm going to stay here. And the whole like culture of Japan and stuff like that too kind of plays a factor in it. But like they can't just say, hey, I'm going to quit and go work for this animation studio because this animation studio is working the exact same way as this one over here. You know, so like, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's rough on them, you know. And I'm not saying that like American and like Western studios and game studios, like the way they treat their employees, are okay if they're treating them like crap, because Japan animators are getting it worse or they're getting it every day. Not saying that like it's all bad, you know what I'm saying? But like just to kind of put that in perspective, you know?
Yeah. No, and that does circle back to the issue. Oh, well, that does kind of circle back to what we were talking about with manga. With manga, novels, novelizations and stuff like that. Definitely, and with anime too. If you can afford it, please support it. You know, when, you know, buying those DVDs of like season 1 of My Hero Academia, like that's what I did.
Yeah.
About season 1 and 2, like all on DVD. Just so I can own it. I mean, it's like, yeah, I know I can go watch it if I want to, but it's a different, you know, it really does make a difference when you can go out and just buy the product and support the product.
Yeah.
Same thing with Shonen Jump. Like Shonen Jump a few years ago, like when I did that subscription, I actually looked at my account on Shonen Jump because I re-logged in while you were talking about it. That account was from 2016. I still have access from stuff from 2016, bro. With Shonen Jump like volumes from 2016, and that was back when Shonen Jump was $25 a year.
Yeah.
Which $25 a year is still stupid cheap, but now it's $2 a month. Like $2 a month is nothing. I mean, if you can work part time and afford Shonen Jump,
You know, you like
it's very affordable.
Skip one meal at McDonald's and you can support Shonen Jump. You can support mangaka.
Exactly.
You know, but
so I mean, it's a trickle effect. Like, yes, it's like, okay, I'm paying for the Shonen Jump service, but the people who are paying for the service wants more stuff to come in. So, you know, they're paying to read these mangas, you know, week by week and getting access to the earlier chapters. But the more people sign up, you know, it's a trickle effect. It'll trickle down to the mangaka, and hopefully, you know, that encourages them to keep releasing, you know, their passion projects, you know, their work.
yeah, and that's the most important thing too. You know, they have like a lot of good stuff. Like, I don't know if any of you noticed, but like, Masashi Kishimoto, the writer for what is it, Naruto. Actually, no, it's not even by him. It's by Shin Tawada. I think I butchered his name, but anyway, came out with a bunch of short novels of different like characters in the series. Like there's Itachi's story, there's Kakashi's story, Shikamaru's, Sakura's, and Sasuke's like in it, and they're all supposed to be like really, really, really good. And they're in here, but they're all $6.99. Again, I mean, like, you know, purchase these for $6.99 is not that bad. Like you go to the store, you'll probably pay like $10 for them or something like that. So to have them like on your phone or on your tablet or even on your computer, to take out whenever you want to for $6.99 isn't that bad. But yeah, so I guess I mean, if you do you have any more you want to say about the subject? If not, we can go into the two heroes.
Yeah, one last thing too is there's another great site for not just manga but novels too, because a lot of anime don't have a manga adaptation, they have a novelization. Going to Bookwalker, if you Google bookwalker.com, or I think it's like bookwalker.jp.com or something like that. The site's called Bookwalker, and they always have like different deals and like different promotions and stuff going on with manga and novels. I know they're currently having a thing right now from this recording. It might be gone by the time it goes up, by the time you guys might listen to it. But right now they have a thing going on where you can get there's like a sale going on for My Life, that time when I was reincarnated to slime, the slime anime. That series, the novelization of that series is on sale, so you can pick up like the first volume for like less than $10. So I mean, there's a whole bunch of different avenues when it comes to supporting manga and supporting these novels and the creators that make this stuff. So and they like incentivize you. Like, it's like if you purchase one, then you get like entered in for like a sweepstakes to win like a cool figure. I know they did that with Overlord. It was like if you purchased anything from Overlord, you got put in this drawing, and then if you won, you got to win this Albedo figure or something like that. So like Bookwalker's cool because they kind of like always try and like do something a little bit extra for people who buy from them.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that, but I'm gonna get all of the information from you. Like basically everything we talk about as far as like services and stuff like that, or anything we reference, I'll try my best to have it in the description. So you all, don't have to like try to find it. You can just go down in the description, description, and just click on the link. But yeah, and then last thing I want to talk about, because I know you've seen it, but like it may have been a while since you've seen it. But I just watched the My Hero Academia movie. Right now it's for free if you have a Stars membership. So you just sign into the app and you can watch it. Or if you have Hulu, you can sign into Hulu, and you have to have the Star subscription for Hulu, and you can watch the My Hero Academia 2 Heroes movie, which was that movie was dope, man. Like, I haven't seen My Hero since the last episode of season 3. I know season 4 is coming out later this year. Yeah. So I haven't seen My Hero since then. Like, I've been like wanting My Hero, wanting like to watch a new episode or movie or whatever of My Hero, for a very long time, and like that movie did not disappoint, man. Like it really didn't. I know somebody online, again, none of this is confirmed. Like, it's just like when I was online, like somebody commented like on the thread or whatever, like a new My Hero Academia movie is coming out or something. Like, I'm not sure how true that is. I
mean, if it is, then that's great. I mean, if it is, I wouldn't be upset about it. And even if there wasn't another movie planned for like another year or so, that's cool too. But if there's another movie in the works, I can totally see it, because My Hero's hot right now. It's the most hot shonen that's been out in the last like 3-4 years.
Yeah,
so
like it's
hot.
It's up there, man. Like, it's probably like one of the top 3, if not the like number 1 right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as like shonen anime, or at least for me, right? I
mean, I definitely think they're definitely a part of this era's like big 3 or top. Big. You know how they say, anime has like the big 3.
Yeah, like what? Oh yeah, my bad. What you saying?
No, you can go.
Yeah,
you can go.
no, like when we were in like middle school and maybe even a little bit of high school, right? Like, we had Naruto, we had Bleach, and we had One Piece. Like, for me, those were the big 3. I don't really,
Yeah.
like as far as like anime, like I don't count Dragon Ball because like Dragon Ball has always been there and will always be there. So like, I don't, like Dragon Ball to me is like pop culture. I think for everybody, Dragon Ball is pop culture. So like when talking about anime, I don't really put Dragon Ball or any of the series within that when like comparing when comparing it to others or whatever. But yeah, no, like there was like I said, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, and like those were again the top three for me. I'm not sure what the top three were for you, but like for me, that's what it was. And like I think My Hero is up there right now. I don't watch a lot of anime anymore, and My Hero is one of those animes that I would just sit down and watch, all day because it's so like I don't know, man, like it pulls at your heartstrings like so much, man, and like the story and like the way they build their characters and the conflict that they have with each other and like the internal conflict with themselves and stuff like that. It's done really well, man. Like the art style is pretty good too. I don't like. There's not enough good things I can say about My Hero or the movie that just came out. Like, I mean, spoiler alert. I'm. We just gonna drop spoilers, man. The movie been out for a long time. Like, I'm late to the party, but hopefully you all aren't. Like the whole story with All Might, right? Like going back into like his backstory, seeing how like he became the number one hero and like how he moved to the United States and nobody knew his name and stuff like that. And then his best friend, like the revelation with his best friend and stuff like that, how his best friend wanted All Might to continue being that symbol of peace for everybody in the entire world, and he was so afraid of like All Might not being that anymore, that the things that he did, what I'm saying, for his friend. And like I feel like a lot of us can like sympathize with, like empathize with that and stuff like that, like I don't know, because like I feel like a lot of us have friends out there that we would like do anything for, and just I don't know, it was like a touching moment, but at the same time it's like you see kind of like what he did and like how he realized what he fucked up. But like at the end of the movie, like you see he's like, okay, I was blinded by whatever his ambition or whatever we're gonna call it that, and I couldn't see that the future is right in front of us or something like that he said. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it before like we get too deep into like all of the spoilers and stuff like that?
No, I mean, you pretty much encapsulated it, like, right. And it's funny too because the first movie dealt with a little bit of All Might's past. So it's really cool how they're using the movies to kind of flesh out All Might more. Where like in the actual, in the series, it follows more so Deku, so we really don't get a lot of time to really see like how All Might was back in his prime and back, when he was, but back before he got that injury, So it's really cool that the movies kind of can go back to that and touch up, and even if it's canon or not, they can go back and kind of touch up and like undo, and they can dig into those, into other characters with the movies. So I really do enjoy that they've been doing that kind of approach with the movies.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even know they had a movie before this one. Honestly, like that's how like out of touch with anime I am. Like I only seen the first 3 seasons of My Hero Academia, and I was kind of late to that. Like I caught up to the point where they were I had to wait for new episodes of season 3. Like that's how encapsulated I was in the series, because like for me, like my friends know this, man, it takes me forever to finish TV shows. Like I like to take my time with them, but because My Hero was so good, like I would watch like 2-3 episodes back to back, but I didn't even know there was a first movie. Like tell me more about that.
I'm trying to. I'm actually doing my. I'm actually making sure we're both on the same page about this. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm hitting up the Googles and I'm doing everything.
All good. While you're doing that, okay. So I like to play fighting games. So I joined this fighting game community in my city on Facebook, and one of the guys like posted his PSN name, so I added him on PSN and told him, look, I'm from the community or whatever, and he sent me a message back like, yo, you got Discord? We have a fighting game community on Discord. You like, if you want to join? I'm like, okay, cool. I joined this fighting game community, and where I'm getting at with this is there is an NSFW meme thread, which which is weird. I clicked on it, and it's not what you all think. Like, there's no like anime titties or hentai or nothing like that in it yet. I mean, like, I'm not sure where these guys are gonna go with this. I don't know. The Discord seems pretty new, but in this thread, they're just like memes and stuff like that. And somebody post a meme of Hunter, um, and it was just like, it wasn't even a meme. It was just like a picture, like, yo, Hunter or whatever, right? And then the person underneath it, and this is so messed up, wrote hiatus or hiatus cross hiatus.
Oh no, that's the meme. That's the joke. Yeah, I was being stupid. We're talking about the same movie. You know what it was? I watched that movie like subbed, so like it felt like it was a long time ago for me. But no, we're talking about the same movie. That's funny though. That's funny.
Oh wow, that's funny. I was like, wait.
No, that's. You know, I was gonna say, you know where that joke comes from though, right? You know how it.
Yeah, no.
Got hiatus.
I know. I don't even watch Hunter, but like listening to you talk about Hunter and stuff like that. I know, like, I used to watch your Hunter videos, the mobile games and stuff like that when you were doing that on YouTube, and like, so all of my Hunter information comes from this guy. You all of my just listening to you talk about it, but like, I know the meme and everything like that. Like, it's probably never coming back, but or at least that's what people are saying and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I thought it was kind of messed up too, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's the world we live in now. That's if you're a Hunter fan, you're just used to hearing it. I mean, it's a thing. It's just you're used to it.
Yeah, and like, it's funny because it was a picture of oh yo, I still gotta draw you that picture of your boy with pants on and stuff.
Oh my god! Let's not do that. Let's not.
What's the main character name again?
Gon.
Oh, okay. If you all don't know about Hunter, Gon is the main character. He's the kid in the green suit with the spiky hair and the super short shorts that go above his kneecaps. And this is like a 3 or 4 year inside joke between me and this guy here, but at one point I told him, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna draw your boy with pants on. Like, those shorts are too short. And I never did it. Like, I never got around to doing it, but like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Let's not.
He gotta have pants on, bro. Like, come on now.
He does have pants.
He got booty shorts on.
Oh my god. Whatever. Whatever.
He trying to show a little thigh.
He's just a dog. He's like what, 10? He's like 12.
Oh
like,
my
leave
god.
him alone, man.
Look.
He's like 12 or 14. I think he's 12 or 14 or something like that. He's somewhere in there.
Look, if you can jump higher than 20 feet in the air, I don't care how old you is, man. You shouldn't be having the booty shorts on.
I mean, at 14, I wasn't wearing booty shorts, but I'm just saying those are just shorts, man. That's just his style, dog. Stop knocking this man's style out here.
All right, whatever, man. Whatever. I'm gonna still draw him with pants on. just to show you all that there is another way.
It's another way. All right.
Oh man. Right. Oh man. But like, is there anything like thing that you remember from the movie that you want to point out or anything like that?
Melissa. Melissa was probably the best foil.
Melissa was the daughter, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I liked Melissa and Deku's interaction. I think that was a cool thing because like the movie talked about All Might's past, but then at the same time like they kept it relevant by having Deku's like Deku and Melissa's kind of relationship and how it kind of like how that developed throughout the movie as well. I like the fact that the biggest thing about Melissa was Melissa could have been what Deku could have been if he never got his powers. Because Deku's a smart kid,
yeah,
and so is Melissa. But the thing that they shared in common that at one point, you know, she's quirkless just like how he was quirkless. But she used her intelligence to create things for heroes. So it's kind of cool because it could have showed like what Deku could have been if he never got One for All.
Yeah.
So I thought that parallel was really cool and how she made that one thing for him.
Yeah.
The little brace thing.
Or
the wristband thing or whatever you want. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm mad that's not canon and I'm mad that he broke it. Because just imagine him with like a full suit of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know? But it's cool how the anime actually goes out of its way to make it canon. Because at the end of one of the episodes, Deku is walking home from school, and All Might comes up to him. He said, "Hey, we're going on hey, I bought a plane ticket. We're going on a trip." And it's supposed to kind of be like a prequel. Yeah. To the movie. So like it's cool that even the anime, it's a filler episode, yes. I think it's a filler episode. It's a filler episode.
No, I remember No, I was gonna say I remember that episode. And like but it's funny because like the way everything else plays out after that episode just completely ignores the movie, I think.
Oh yeah, because I mean the movie definitely is it's not canon at all. But it's cool though because like the anime even took like and this is kind of like when people are like, oh my god, I hate filler, and it's just like if the filler's done well, then I will enjoy it just as much as the cool. And that's what I do like about anime is like you can have like when you're like you can do these what ifs like, oh well, what if this and this happened and these characters had to interact because these characters don't normally interact like in the show, you know, or in the normal story. So it's cool because you can get really cool what if scenarios in filler. And you can get cool stories out of filler. Yeah. And I like the way that episode wanted to be a small little tie-in with the movie. So it was cool. I thought it was neat. I thought it was cool that they took that extra initiative to be like, oh, let's make one of the episodes almost kind of like a precursor to the movie. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, yeah.
But Two Heroes, if you haven't seen it, I see it all the time on I'm about to pull it up right now. I see it all the time on YouTube on my thing. I think you can rent it for
$3.
I think you can
$2.99.
You can rent it for $2.99. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You can rent the movie. You can rent the movie for $2, $3. So if you want to watch it, you literally have access to it right there on YouTube. I've never used the YouTube like rent movie feature, but I hear it's pretty cool. I've heard some people use it. It's pretty dope. So if you want to watch it, I mean, if you got $2-3 you want to spend, you ain't doing nothing. Go definitely watch it. Definitely watch it. It's a good film.
Yeah, definitely. No, the YouTube thing is really cool. I've used it a couple times, man. I've used it a couple times actually.
That's fine.
It's really cool. But yeah, no. So those are our thoughts. As always, these are conversations between us and you all. So if you have any thoughts on the My Hero Academia movie, the Shonen Jump app, or the situation with Spider-Man, feel free down in the comments below. Let us know. We'll be down there in the comments, replying to everybody and stuff like that. But Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this very, very long podcast. But anyway, I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it, and we're gonna try to do a lot more of these. Maybe like once a month or something like that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Maybe even like maybe at some point we'll get like once a week. You know what I'm saying? We'll like crush it out like that. We'll crush it out like that. But until then, this has been Key, your boy Shooting Star Sheriff over there. Anything else you want to say, man?
Nah, man. Thanks for having me on. And like I said, if you guys want to definitely subscribe to Keon, follow the boy if you want to keep seeing more things like this. And we'll keep it pushing, man. We'll try and do as many of these as we can.
Definitely. All right. Peace.
Peace, guys.